I looked in her school bag and I found lingerie and makeup, things that shouldn't be in a teen's school bag.
Clients were lining up. We could receive up to 10 of them a day.
Often these are minors who have had a troubled upbringing.
20 of the victims in those networks were only 14 years old.
In cyberspace, more and more minors are selling sex at younger and younger ages. If you type in a few keywords, you're immediately hit with dozens of ads like these. Teenage girls in suggestive poses, emphasising their youth, often from their own bedroom. Their offers explicit. Most of the time, these services are offered in cheap hotels out of sight, where young girls are often forced to work by their pimps. That's what happened to Marian. She's agreed to speak to us in the presence of her lawyer. She ran away at 16 from her village in rural Brittany to the suburbs of Paris and fell into the hands of a man who raped her before putting her up for prostitution.
He was violent. I was very afraid of him. He was quick to take control. He saw that I was vulnerable and that I was totally lost. He controlled everything around me. He decided when I could take a call or when I was allowed to eat or sleep.
For more than 2 years, Marian was locked up in a hotel room and forced to take clients, up to 10 a day. She knew her pimp wouldn't let her go easily.
An underage girl can be sold at a higher price than a grown woman. At the time, he was charging 300 euros per hour and 1,000 euros a night.
Why are minors more expensive?
Because they have a fresher body, they're younger, because
that's what clients look for?
Yes, there was demand from clients.
Suffering violence from her pimp as well as some clients and humiliating sexual acts, Marian's life became a living nightmare. How could you bear that?
Your soul detaches itself from your body. It's something that you just do naturally to survive what's unbearable. It's horrible to say this, but I was so shattered inside that I was letting myself die.
Marian found the courage to report her pimp to police. He was sentenced to 10 years in prison. But for Francesca, there's no light at the end of the tunnel. Her daughter became involved in prostitution when she was 16. Francesca tried to get help but says she wasn't taken seriously.
No one would help me, not the police, nor the youth workers, nor the judge. Their view was that she was past the age of consent, so she could do what she wanted. They told me I was crazy and that maybe I should be seen by a doctor, that I was too possessive.
Her daughter's pimp was finally sent to jail, but maintains his grip even from his prison cell. Francesca lives in continual fear for her daughter.
I know that my child needs help, and there's nothing I can do. I stay awake for nights on end, waiting for that call. That's going to tell me that my daughter's been found dead in a gutter somewhere.
At the Central Office Against Prostitution, police have seen a huge rise in youth prostitution in recent years. More than half such cases today are minors. The pimps tend to be former drug dealers who don't want to take the risk of trafficking drugs anymore. Exploiting minors is seen as a potentially more lucrative trade.
The sums that can be made by exploiting just one young victim can vary from 500 euros to up to 2,000 euros a day. We're seeing very structured organizations with lots of individuals exploiting more and more victims.
Magistrate Raphaël Wach oversees cases for the court in Créteil. She's worried because for some young people, prostitution is no longer taboo.
You have young people who say it's completely normal to do it, that everyone does it, that it's no big deal. There's really a normalization of prostitution of young people, because the girls say that selling sex is a way to make lots of money easily, and that it can help them to reach their dream life.
After 6 years of desperately fighting to get her daughter out of prostitution, Francesca says she's given up any hope. Marian is now a mother of 2 children and slowly rebuilding her life.